Today on Reese Dixon, we are making this woven beaded necklace. Hi everybody, it's Teresa with ReeseDixon.com, and today I'm here with a necklace tutorial. I love making my own jewelry. It's such a simple process, but I just find the results really rewarding. And for a DIY project, they're actually really fast. So I had to be sure and include one in my DIY gift series. This necklace I'm just loving because I wanted to make something that had a lot of contrast. And so I used a couple of different beading techniques. Some woven pieces here are then put up right up next to the loose strings right here. So you get that tight and loose contrast that I think is really lovely. But I also wanted to contrast the color. So I've got this gunmetal gray with this sharp pop of pink. I think that this is a great way to bring that neon trend into your wardrobe if you don't really feel like investing in some bright giant piece of neon. Just a touch, especially when it's surrounded by gray, can be really elegant. So let me switch the camera around and get you going and see how to start weaving these pieces together. Here I've got my beading needle fitted with some beading thread, and you'll definitely want to make sure you have a skinny beading needle and as thin beading thread as you feel comfortable while still retaining your strength, because you'll have to get these through the beads several times each. So to start with, I just have one of my tiny little bright pink beads just to serve as a stopper. I'll stick that on my needle and bring it all the way to the end here. And then come around and right back through the same side. Like that. And once you pull it tight, then that will just kind of be the break to keep all of the rest of your beads in place. And since it's bright pink, I won't get it confused with the rest of what I'm doing. With that stopper in place, I can thread on the larger beads I'll be using for weaving. I've got 10 beads here, but only 9 will be the first row. So basically, here's my first row, and then it's time to start row number 2. So I put on one more bead. And then to start weaving it into row 1, I go around to the back side of that first bead and put my needle through there. There we go, that's easier. Ooh, hold still. There we go. So it's basically the same way we put the stopper on, but now we'll be doing this to make rows. And I let that get away from me, so I'm going to pull that tighter to the other beads. And then to get ready for the next bead, and just to make this connection stronger, I'm going to go back through that bead that starts row number 2. Like that. See? So now I do the same thing, put on the next bead around the second bead of row number 1, back up and through bead number 2 of row 2, and keep going all the way around, just looping those rows together. And then if you want to, you don't have to, because the way we're connecting it will make it stronger, but if it still feels pretty flimsy to you, you can just run your needle all the way through the entire row to give it more beading thread to hang on to and just make that firmer. So here's my woven piece all completed. You can obviously make this whatever size and length you want. You can do entire pieces this way, but I like the contrast between the tight and the loose. So I'm going to be stopping here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And with this beading technique, you can make it as long and wide as you want. Now from here, it's time to start adding the loose sections. I have a couple little bowls full of beads here, and this is actually left over from my weaving, and I'm just going to keep going with it instead of bothering to set up a whole new thread. So from here you just have to string your beads. You just kind of, there's no wrong way to do this. You just get the beads on your needle until you get the section you want. And here it's helpful to just kind of measure so that you know how long you want the overall necklace to be and how long you want each section between spacers to be. So once you get your beads strung on that whole thread, you can add your next spacer and then keep on going. Here's my necklace with the full length all done. I've got all my loose pieces connected straight through those woven pieces, and that will make the, like right now, those woven pieces are so tight, they're so strong because there's so many beading threads running through them, and that will make the overall necklace a lot stronger too. So now what I've got is all these loose ends that I have to connect together. The first thing you have to do to put a closure on this is corral all of these strands into one thing you can work with. So what I've done here is put a crimp bead, and this one's a rather large one, and threaded all these strands through it. So once you thread it through, then you just crimp it. Now I'm going to take 2 or 3 of the longer strands, just because those are easier to work with, and everything else I'm going to snip way back so that they'll get out of my way. So now I want to cover up all that ugliness. So this is a little cone, and I'm going to thread these few I kept long all the way through the top. And put all of my ugliness right inside there. Nobody has to ever see that again. Like that, okay? So now we need one more little crimp bead and a jump ring. Okay, so we'll thread both of those on. There's the smaller crimp bead, here's the jump ring, and then we're going to bend these loose ends back around and back through the crimp bead again. Now you can take these last couple of strands and thread it back down there, or snip them off, however you want to deal with those. But once you've got your jump ring on, then you can just open it up like that and slide on a clasp. Close it right back up. There we go. So now I'll do the same thing with the other side, just leaving it at the jump ring, and my necklace will be all done. One thing I'm loving about how this necklace came out is that since it's such a classic style, but it's done in this modern way, it could really be appropriate for anybody. If the person on your gift list is a little bit younger, you could make it a little shorter. If they're a little older, you can make it this long, dramatic statement necklace. But either way, it's going to be beautiful. So I hope that this was inspiring to you to make something this year. Give a little bit of yourself along with your present. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. I'll do my best to help you out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. And if you like my videos, would you help me out and spread the word? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.